Hey boys and girls, this video is going to show you how to run your circuit for your Go Speed Racer project. There's a couple of ways couple of power sources that you guys could choose from. One was a battery and the other was a solar panel or solar panels. So I'm going to start with the easy one, which is the battery. Let's put those aside. So all you really need is a AA battery, any battery actually, but let's do AA because we don't want to blow out this motor. This motor here, it's called a DC motor. It has the capacity to take 3 volts of electricity through it. And if you look on an AA battery, it puts out 1.5 volts of electricity. So these are good to use with each other. All right, so first thing you need to know how to do is to strip wires. So this handy tool here is called a wire stripper. And if you look closely, there are different little circles here, and that's the gauge of your wire. So if you open it up and you take a wire that has not been stripped, by stripping I mean we're just going to cut off this plastic piece right here without cutting the wire. We're going to pull it off. And then you want to put this into where it fits, which I think it fits right there in that 20 gauge wire. Close it, but it's not cutting it. It's just closing around it, and then you hold it and you twist this tool around, and it's kind of cutting into that plastic. You keep it steady. Take your wire and you pull it, and now you have the wire exposed, and so you need to do that to be able to connect pieces and run a circuit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time. If you want to watch, take your wire, put it in the gauge that it fits on your wire stripper, not too much, about 1 centimeter of the plastic, the casing, wire casing I'm pulling off, pull, and then I have a stripped wire. So now you can see the wires coming out of that DC motor. Now we have those stripped. The battery, you don't need to worry about anything like that, but you do need electrical tape. And you want to put your gear on your battery. So this gear has a hole in it, but it's too big for the motor part. So I'm going to use a little bit of glue. Just be careful, you don't want to glue too much on the motor. You don't want that glue to get all over the motor, it won't spin. So if you do use glue, make sure you hold that up a little bit. You don't poke it all the way through. You make sure that you are just putting it partial way. And you can see right there that I'm not going all the way through to it. I'm going to let that dry a minute. Okay. This is so easy. So find your electrical tape, get a little piece. We've had a few tries at this, and this seems to be the easiest and cheapest ways to go about this. Just a tiny piece of tape like this. Now on a battery, if you look closely at a battery, you're going to see some symbols. So for example, this says plus right here. That means this is the positive side of the battery, where it kind of sticks up, it has that little bump sticking out. It's positive. And on a motor, your positive is going to be your red wire. So red is positive, black is usually your ground wire or negative. So I'm going to make sure that that wire touches over that little bump and has a really good connection there. And I'm going to tape it down with electrical tape. There we go. And it's easier to keep that positive wire taped down just because of that little bump. And then the negative side, I'm going to put on there too, and I'm going to tape it, but that's going to be my switch. So to turn the motor off, I'm just going to leave it like this, off. Make sure that's spinning. It sure looks good. And so watch what happens when I touch the negative over to this side of the battery. There it goes. See it? So I know it's kind of, we don't have a switch, an on-off switch, but basically your on-off switch is going to be the tape. So get your second piece of tape, tape it on there when you want it to go, and then take it off when you want it to stop. So there's your switch right there, okay? How easy was that? Not too bad, huh? All right, so that's how you do run the electrical circuit with using a battery. Now, using a solar panel is not that much different, but a little. So if you want one solar panel, it's easy peasy. You just twist your red wires together and then cover it with electrical tape, and your black wires together. You just twist them, so make sure the metal pieces are touching like that. And here, these metal pieces are touching. That's going to make that connection happen. It's got to be the metal, because the casing on the outside of a wire is not conductive. It's the metal inside that is conductive. So right now, if I took this outside, it would be going because it needs sun. If you wanted to use 2 solar panels, all you have to do is take this black wire and tie it in with the other black wires. And then take this red wire and tie it in with the other red wires. So now I've got 3 wires in the same twist. 1, 2, 3. Oops, and make sure that these 3 are twisted together. 1, 2, 3. So I have 2 twisted wires. That will give power from both solar panels. So if you feel like you want to do 2 solar panels to get more power, then that's how you would do 2. Hopefully that helped. And also, yes, please don't forget, anytime you do that, make sure that you wrap those wires with electrical tape so no one gets shocked, because when that power is going through there, if you come over and touch an exposed wire, you might get a little shock. There's not enough voltage in this to do any damage, but you know, we want to learn safety, because if you ever do work with high power voltage, you definitely do not want exposed wires. You want to protect yourself. All right, hopefully that helped, guys, and have fun with it.